From here, okay. I'm gonna play. I think I'm gonna play another game I was talking about last night. I at least call it like Job Simulator 9000. Let's see if it's still a thing. Job Simulator 9000. Um. Oh, it's Job Hunting 9000. Oh, this is the old version? Oh, there's a deluxe version. Oh, finally. Okay, let's try this out. Oh, they revamped it. Job Hunting 9000 is a visual novel about being coerced into dating a shitty, overpowered, eye-strained OC come to life with an unnecessary amount of alternative routes as he attempts to help fix your life in the only way he knows how. Find all the routes, choose your favorite route, have a gall of a time. Okay, we can try this out. Ugh. My entire body feels so heavy too. I should probably just call in sick. This is literally gonna be me tomorrow. It's a Monday tomorrow. Like, I feel this already. I'll just email my boss telling him I'll be having a day off. I'm failing to remember my passcodes though. I've always had a shabby memory. Yeah, honestly. Actually, that's not true. There are some passcodes with like very random strings that for whatever reason I just remember. But I've heard there's like decent practice would be to recall like a phrase or like a song lyric and have it be like a very long one, like maybe like a passage or a quote in a book or something, and then use that as a passcode instead of just like a randomly generated like 12 string long symbol thing. But I'm not entirely sure. Hmm, that's right. My name is um um what is my name? Uh, I'm almost tempted to say Kolea. uh, I say my name is um um lim umlum 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 umlum. Yeah, yeah. I'm umlum. How did I forget? Wait, what kind of cruel parents even name their kid umlum? That's very accurate. Whatever. Ah, 1000 reasons why you deserve a guardian angel demon prince robot vampire spirit creature boyfriend thing, colon. Does this happen? Like, is this my designated one of like I feel like I have a lot of designated spirits assigned to me sometimes. This is I can go on it. Okay, I'm gonna go on like a mini tangent here. Like there was this one time I was in like a Lyft, which is a ride sharing thing, and basically the lady in the Lyft was like, there's a lot of drivers that are like this sometimes. She was like, "Hey, I can do like your crystal reading or whatever right now," and so she pulled out like a pendulum with like a string on it, and then she took out like a piece of paper, I believe, and then like while we were driving on the freeway, and it was very busy by the way, um, she was just like swinging this pendulum around on this piece of paper and seeing where like the pendulum kind of lands. And there were several moments where there were like other cars honking at us and stuff because I think we almost like crashed into another car at like various points. But anyway, she was asking me like a series of questions and I answered, and eventually she landed on the interpretation that there's just like a lot of spirits or whatever that seem to like to attach to me for whatever reason. Like she suggested that like for whatever reason sometimes like my essence or whatever looks tasty or something, so like spirits will latch onto me, and sometimes that can be like an energetically draining thing. So then she was like, would you like me to like sort of tell them to like kindly go somewhere else or something? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then she proceeded to burp a lot. Like a lot of burping. A lot of burping. And I didn't know this at the time, but I looked it up later, and sometimes I do this as well, which is apparently in some spiritual, I guess, practices, burping can be a very valid way or method of interacting with things that are unknown or like spiritual in a sense. And I think for her, she used it as like a sort of method of release or something. And I don't think this is entirely strange, because sometimes I feel like when I'm around certain people, I also do tend to burp a little bit. I've noticed this. And it's a very specific thing. I don't know why. It's like sometimes when I'm just like around certain people, sometimes I'll like get random urges to burp, and usually I don't like, it's not right after eating or anything. Like I could have gone without eating the entire day, but I'll just like, I'll walk by somebody, or like I'll talk to somebody, and it's just like, oh, why is my like gastrointestinal system doing its thing? I don't think I don't think it's the same thing as like something like having a bad gut feeling in your stomach, which I mean sometimes I feel that as well, and a lot of people do, but it's a little bit different. It is mostly just burps, and I wouldn't say it's like necessarily a negative or a positive thing. Yeah, I hope that helps. Anyway, let's just continue on. 1000 reasons why you deserve a guardian angel, demon, prince, robot, vampire, spirit, creature, boyfriend thing, : you're jobless, pathetic, your parents hate you, you're about to be homeless, you're an OSU player, porn addiction, and you're bitchless until now. Well, bastardless, so to speak. Yeah. That definitely was a lot of words. Wait, until now? That's right. I'm gonna make you visual until your life is better, of course, silly ass. Any way possible. So we finally reached a certain point where this is like the emergency button, in a way. It's like break glass in case of emergency, and this is what emerged from the class. Wow, I suddenly understand why you lied about your name then. Anyways, I'm Umlum, and I think I'll just call you Yaoi-tron without any of the other flair text. Pet names already? Ugh. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and call you MC. That will be my pet name for my new pet. Oh no. What on earth does MC stand for? Wait, are you flirting with me? Oh, come on, Z's now. I know there's room for nerves, but I'm gonna be dating you, you know. As per my delectable scented email for my online program. So listen up a bit, will you? Wait, hold on, let me get this straight. Always a bad idea. Don't interrupt me, please. I like how this character has a little bit of like self-respect and decency. As I was saying, so your email was in fact supposed to be a boyfriend program as opposed to a general life assistance program. This is an interesting thing, because I think for some people, I feel like various people will have like different philosophies on this, which is, do you try to figure out having like a partner to begin with first, or do you try to figure out having like a general life thing sorted out first before having a partner? I think there are various stances when it comes to this kind of thing, because some people I feel like will probably require partnership in a way, like romantic partnership in like a sort of traditional sense, for something like living assistance. where like maybe a shared income or something could help a lot. Whereas some people I think approach it in the way where they feel like they need to sort out their kind of like own lives, so to speak, first before like venturing to finding like a romantic partner or something like that. Like they feel like everything has to be set in place first. So yeah, I feel like this is a very interesting sort of dynamic happening here. Well, if you say it so outright like that, I get a little bit embarrassed. Well, sorry if this is awkward, but I don't technically need a partner right now. Definitely far less than I need a job, at least. Okay, so like the self-insert, the YN has taken the approach of sorting out their life first before finding a partner. Whereas I feel like this Yahwehtron is like, no, actually, maybe you could use a partner beforehand, and then like we'll sort out life together or something like that. But there could be like an alternative option as well, maybe. So I might have to ask you to leave my house from whatever the heck you got in here. But wait, I just got here. Can't I maybe I can help you in whatever other ways you like, and it can also be a date at the same time? I mean, I guess I'd be fine with that. Awesome, MC. How do you want me to help you out? Let's see. I guess if you can help me get back on track with the job, and yeah, that'd be all good. A job? Where? Oh no. I'm not gonna save. Like, I'm tempted to use save points, but for this initial run through, I'm not gonna save. Okay, so where do I want to work / date? At home? Maid cafe? McDonald's? I literally don't even know. Okay, let's think about this. So I have worked at home before, and in general, I think it was... Okay, maybe I don't want to give my impressions on these things because I feel like these are very charged topics. So all I'll say is like I've done this before. I've worked at home before. I've kind of done something very similar to this before. I've worked at a fast food restaurant before. I've definitely done this before, which is I literally don't even know. So, like, the only option that I've never tried out of all these is Maid Cafe. So to be honest, I have been thinking about working in like a sort of, okay, not necessarily like a maid cafe setting, but more so like a general cafe setting. And I've interviewed before at a few places, but nothing yet. And I'm gonna take like bartending course soon, so I feel like this is probably the closest in alignment at the moment. So I'll go with this. I have a thought which brings me pause for a moment, as I wonder if I should even verbalize it. Ah, Goofy, what's wrong? I was just thinking, there's this nearby maid cafe that opened recently. I think they're opening job applications. Maid dresses? Oh my god, now this is gonna be the cutest thing ever. Our cute energy will, like, combine into an unstoppable force. I'm pretty sure you're going to be doing the majority of the workload in a force like that. What was that? I'm not even going to comment on it. It could literally just be an error. But I'm not entirely sure. I glance around the room for a second with a confused look on my face until my eyes trail downwards to the sight of a cat rubbing against my leg. By the way, the object show hands? I kind of appreciate it. Or at least it fulfilled the majority of the requirements of what a cat should look like. And yet something was ever so... Okay, it is intentional. Was ever so slightly off. Yep, something was unaligned about this whole ordeal. Oh, there are 4 sets of horns. 1, 2, 3, or 2 sets of horns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 5, maybe? Yeah, maybe I count 5. Or maybe there's more. hold on, let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe more. Anyway. Oh, you have a cat? We don't just have a cat, doofus. That's our owner right there. Meow of agreement. I feel like some people actually meow there. Friday. What's that ordeal with the cat? Right, well, just to be told, the cat isn't technically our real store owner or anything. You see, the landlords would only let me set up business if there were at least 2 people working here, and to show that there's some kind of infrastructure going on. They also told me I was stupid and gay. Oh. I didn't have anyone else to turn to, so I, just picked up a street cat, and now she's Mr. Boss, as you do. Yeah. I was asking about their name, dumbass. I see. Maybe you should have ensured that you do have some kind of maybe you should have ensured that you do have some kind of infrastructure going on so your business doesn't collapse. Hold on. This sentence is giving me an aneurysm. Maybe you should have insured, like insurance? I don't know how that works. Maybe. I don't know. I guess this was the only idea I had in mind to make a decent living on my own terms. It seemed like a good idea at the time. That's enough emotional exposition. I do not care anymore. Where are the cute outfits? Oh yeah, I have some in the back. Are you okay? Is it not comfortable? No, it's just so cute. My heart can't take it. Kafgudgal jif jig jif jig jif. Kafgudgal jif jig jif jig jif gupaj gujid jig huj guv gujif. I think he's just kind of like this. Ignore him. This is really pleasant art. That's no worries. We need all the enthusiasm we can get right now. Yeah. Honestly, the outfits have a pretty cheap feel to them. Now that I'm actually wearing it, I wonder if Fitter just got them off Amazon or something. I especially enjoy the outlines of this drawing. I feel like they add a lot. They're a little bit they're not like, they add that sort of like crunchy feeling, crunchy like compressed pictorial feeling, and especially this part here, I find it really like very nice to look at. Sort of like this magenta outline set against a sort of indigo background. It kind of like pops out in my eye in a very distinct way, and yeah, it's really pretty to look at. Never mind. I think you might actually need some medical attention now. Well, I can't afford anything like that, so let's reprioritize for now. Wearing it. Wait, why are you still here? Do you not have anywhere to stay? Well, we're boyfriends, so now we gotta live together. Are you sure you're not just saying that as an excuse to bunk? Do you even have a home? Whatever. Go, my scarab. Scarabs, by the way, I think useful or like applicable to dream interpretation, some could say. Okay, well, like, good night, man, I guess. I'm too tired to care about you being here. What are you doing? Are you intending on, like, just staring at me all night, or, can you hear me? What? This is, by the way, is like, this is some people's sleep paralysis entity, I feel like. Ah, be quiet, be quiet. Oh, sorry, I tend to sleep with these bad boys open. Bad boys? Are you calling your eyes that? Okay, well, could you at least just not stare at me like that while I'm trying to sleep? Okay. The animation, though. I guess this works. Good night. Okay, listen closely, Are you listening closely? Listen, listen, listen. Loud and clear. Okay, well, you know the trick is to pretend that you're commentating a nature documentary for realsies. You watch nature documentaries? Of course, who hasn't watched at least one? I'll take that. Yoichan turns away from me and immediately looks totally detached from reality. He's just smiling and staring into space. What's going on in his alien mind? Earth 2 Yaoi-chan? What? Sorry, I'm just a little confused. Am I supposed to be making up my own commentary here? Oopsie, sorry. I forgot to share my commentary with you. I'll say it out loud from now on, okay? Okay. Okay, nature commentary begin. Get your hands in the freaking air if you value your life, says the fluffy sparkle. That's a white cat's name. Now I decided it. Do you like it? Oh my goodness, please don't shoot. I have a family, says Crinkle. That's the gray cat's name. You better tell me where the goods are then, says Fluffy Sparkle. About at this part of the story that Crinkle starts crying. Yaoi-chan, on second thought, I don't think you know what a documentary is. No, I feel like that is kind of accurate. Guys, I'm pretty sure you could go now. I'm about to lock the store up. I guess we lost track of time. Sorry about that. We wrap up the day and head back home. Yeah, this doesn't get any more natural to me. Even with his back turned, I still feel like I'm being watched, as if he has eyes in the back of his head. Hey, why are you so standoffish? I am so nice to you. I give you Wi-Fi? No, you don't. Wrong. Check your phone. Begrudgingly, I opened my phone despite only wanting to sleep at this hour. My phone is displaying 6 bars out of 5? Wait, what? How? I only used the data plan. I freaking told you so. Good. Please be quiet. We've spoken about this. Sorry. Rise and grind. Good morning, packmates. What? Rise and grind. Let's go to work. Okay. And so, to work we went. Hi, Feeder. Actually, can you try calling me Little Boss? I feel like this whole ownership thing is really growing on me. What? Okay. I'm not calling you that. Feeder stands up and places the pistol he was polishing from under the counter down where both of us can see it. So what's the plan, Little Boss? I don't know, we can just start by setting up A loud slam announces itself with pride behind us from the door. A strange, somewhat off-putting and swarmy man makes his entrance with a large presence. Alright, I'm here. Is this supposed to be referencing somebody? What the? Oh man, hey, Big Boss. Big Boss? Feeder? Where did you even find this guy? Prison. But I found him on YouTube first. Yeah man, subscribe to Big Boss. So, do you want a coffee or something? Listen buddy, I want to talk business, not coffee. That's what a guy like me is here for. Listen little man, what do you see in this corporation? Me? No, him. I find the idea of dressing up as maid kind of amusing, I guess. You obviously aren't thinking like an entrepreneur speaking like that. What? Have you ever heard of cryptocurrency, little man? Only in passing. Let's get to the point. I see a vision here. This establishment, I am here to discuss business. Entrepreneurial, big money business. Well, I guess I'm happy to learn about it, especially if it's from you, big boss. Peter and this strange man seem quickly invested in their masterclass in entrepreneurialism. Seems like we should just go home early. I have a feeling we won't be needed today. Sure. We walk back home, aimless and generally rather confused. Oh gee, looks like we have tons of time to ourselves. Do you want to play Uno or Pictionary or... what's Pictionary? It's a board game. What's a board game? It's a game you play, but like, physically. Oh, I know a board game. Games have been... Yochon proceeds to dropkick me. Ow, freaking goodness. Come at me, bro. That's not a flipping game, Yaoi-chan. Don't do that. Ow. Sure it is. It's called roughhousing. I love roughhousing. Well, it's not flipping fun for me. Be normal. Now I'm bored. Board game. A long and stale silence airs between us for a few seconds before unassumedly cut off by Yaoi-chan. Yeah, I've heard this happens in some cases where it's like I think some people have different slightly different notions of like what constitutes play, and then for some people it can be viewed in a more or interpreted in a more or exhibited in a more kind of like destructive way, but to them it might not seem as if it were like that. This kind of reminds me of this time I had an interview with a center for autistic children, and I was talking to the person, and they're also showing me a video, and they were like, yeah, so when you're in the center, you should fully expect that some of the kids here or some of the clients are going to just like throw things around and maybe do a lot of biting and in general like having a lot of like physical unrest and not that much like of a notion of restraint. And that is definitely an interesting topic to get into. It's not something that I'm fully like I don't understand it that well at the moment, but it is an interesting thing for sure. Hey, you've only said it like 2 times. To be honest, I just echolocated XX Yaoi-tron 9000XX because I was bored and wanted to know what he was up to. Kind of base to see you in a dress I thought with anyway. What's good, Lamau? I just stick around, you feel me? They're so nonchalant. They're so cool. They're so cool. No problemo. Wanna order anything in the meantime? You got any blood coffee? What? Black coffee? Of course. Yaoi-chan, get on it. Okie dokie. About an hour passes in the cafe without any business. This Yuri-tron character seems to be totally content, doing absolutely nothing and just chilling out in here like she has truly nothing better to do. Again, they're so cool. Where's Yaoi-Yuri? Where's Yaoi-Yuri-tron? She's just... Okay, I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna make a note to play a specific game after this. Actually, I'm gonna make a note right now. We're currently Armageddon. One of the vacant chairs, this time much closer to the window. Is that the strat? That might be the strat. Like, if someone was trying to start up a cafe thing, just like hire their friends and put them in like very very pleasant outfits, and then seat them by the window. I baked you an omelet, but I eated it. Make another omelet, goodness sake. I baked you an omelette. The two share an omelette. Heartwarming. Can I tell you something? Is the confession already happening? Of course you can. I want to suck your blood and eat you alive and kill ourselves together. That's the most romantic thing I've ever heard. Hot. Can we kiss? Yes, bro. Ride off into the sunset on my cool motorcycle. Yes. The two leave the cafe, hand in hand. And everyone clapped. Well, that just happened. Dang, dude. Love is love and all. We could have had that, but you're playing, FYI. Okay. Dang, guys. I'm tired. Do you want to just close up for the day? It's only 2 p.m. Wow, yes, you're so much nicer than my previous boss, you know. I think I like you. What did you say? Nothing. Let's go home, Yaoi-chan. I think that term should be reserved more seriously, but there are some people that would say that you can just use it in a sort of like loose platonic way, which is also okay. I don't know, it depends. I feel like it's sort of like a group chat setting at a workplace where it's like, okay, do you do the thumbs up? Are you a thumbs up person, or are you a heart emoji person, or are you like an emoji person? By the way, if somebody's an emoji person, I mean, I'm not like, I don't judge them, but personally, I do lean a little bit more towards something like symbolic emojis rather than like the like the round face emojis or ball face emojis or whatever they're called. Anyway, so like, have you had any customers before me for the whole extortionate dating service thing? Of course. How are they like doing now? Oh, they're all dead. Oh, I'm quite passionate of my grace, actually. It really feels like I was made to do this. You certainly look part to be ready for the job, at least. The only other thing I can possibly imagine you doing is circus work. I don't mean that as a backhanded insult, to clarify. I kinda can't judge you though, regardless of the moral gray area of your profession. Ooh, am I finally gaining your respect? It's just that it's a step up for me at the least. Nothing I do feels like I was exactly made for it. Made. Maybe I can be your true passion. That's not a real passion. Geez, okay. But if you do only do this work in such a commercial fashion, am I really special to you? Well, to be fair, this has been the longest a client of mine has gone without dying in any form of the word. So there must be some significance to you about that. I should not find that as sweet as I do. My standards are just terrible. Aw, thanks. I think putting people in lifelong debt might be kind of deeply messed up, though. Blame the system, not the worker. Well, if you really are the god of a vaguely pornographic niche, I do fail to see how you don't have at least some ties to capitalism. Or at least that's what I'm assuming you are. You're like the god of Yahweh, right? Sigh. Maybe. I do have ties with the capitalist regime, but that won't get in the way of our Lord, right? It's a weird word to pronounce. I don't know how to respond to that. Aren't you gonna at least say that you love me just once? You're not gonna, like, gorge out my eyeballs with a spoon if I don't, right? Legally obligated to say no? I guess I love you then? Sigh. Where's the passion? The true lore. You're making me cry. Listen, man, it's not that I dislike you or anything. It's been like 3 days. I haven't figured out how to feel about you when this has all gone down with such a short time frame. And just, if you want something sincere, give it time, okay? Okay. Immediately, something looks off heading into the cafe. All the chairs are positioned in one direction in rows, and most of the area of the cafe is vacant, seemingly intentionally so. Hey, Yaoi-chan, is it cool if we head over to my place for today? What, why? I don't really have the budget to cover the store space right now. We need to figure out a business strategy. Whoa, what's going on in here? Unnecessary extra. This seems like my kind of thing. Unnecessary extra Yoshi. Yoshi. Oh, anyway. Is that a Hawkeye? Hey customer people. Take a seat. Quick, buy some popcorn while you watch. This is the pinnacle of capitalism. Popcorn and watching, like, two creatures in maid outfits give each other, like, sloppy mouth. That sounded weird. Anyway. Well, guys, you're right. This stuff is selling like hotcakes. Pancakes? Phew, that's the most work I've done in one day since I can remember. Yaoi-chan? Yeah. You know, it's okay if you want to, like, scooch over with me. You don't actually have to just sit on the side of a bed like a dog all night. Okay. Damn, so close. Okay, this is... For those that know, this is very much like a sleep paralysis situation in some instances. Anyway. Dang, he's close. I know he just spent all day doing homoerotic theatrics, but this time it just feels intimate. Maybe it's the fact that it's just me and him. Heh, you're finally opening up to me now. Took me long enough. Heh. So, do you have any, like, cute little secrets to share? Secrets. I kinda like watching mukbang videos sometimes. I haven't shared with anyone before, okay? Honestly, some of the Nikado avocado videos go insane. Like, there was one regarding... I forgot what it was called. It was like one where he was reacting to another person in a car, like a girl in a car, talking about her reaction to like his reaction regarding something. And it was very interesting because the video was mostly talking about how in Nikado's perspective a lot of it is kind of like performed theatrics, and for her, like, she couldn't really separate the sense of like the performance from like the business side of things, at least in terms of like the mukbang community. So I think for her, she felt like she was trying to like be friends with Nikado, whereas Nikado felt like he needed to maybe like stir up some drama or something to drive up metrics, and then that was a very big part of like that sort of community in a way. And yeah, it's like the whole dynamic was very interesting, and I felt like I got like a glimpse at sort of the factors at play in some parts of the community online. Oh, and there was another video that he did with Orlin, I believe, regarding a Wendy's mukbang. And then in that Wendy's mukbang, I distinctly remember Nikado talking about something regarding feeling like if he gets like sauce on his hands in specific moments, it feels like it ruins a large part of his day. So he tries his best not to get like sauce on his hands. And to me, I sort of understand that in a way via the lens of like OCD, where it's like there's a lot of like rules and conditions where like if I have to like, not as much now, but there's moments in my life where it's like if something happens and basically I have to make up for it in like a whole convoluted series of steps. Like if I get sauce in my hands, then I have to like do this entire hour-long procedure or whatever to make up for it. And well, it wasn't mostly about like that cleanliness. I think it was mostly regarding numbers for me. Like I had to like basically count a lot of things, like everything. Like I had to count the number of steps from like one place to another, and it had to be a very particular number, or I had to like walk a very specific sequence of steps on some like stairs or steps or whatever, or I had to like flick the on and off switch on a light a specific number of times, or just like weird things like that. Or like if I'm riding on a bike or a vehicle, I had to like turn my head a bunch of times randomly to the back of me. And I remember this one time I like crashed into like a random thing, and I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. But anyway, yeah, it's a distinct feeling. Like essentially it's almost like if I miss a count, then the whole world is gonna die, and everyone's gonna die, and then everyone's gonna explode, and in like the most gruesome way possible. Like everything's gonna explode in the most gruesome way possible if I don't like switch the on and off switch a very specific number of times, or if I don't, if my like one of my feet doesn't land at the front of another door in a specific number of steps from one place to another, and it's like, okay, say goodbye to like all my family and friends that I've ever knew, or like everybody and their family and friends and their family and friends and so forth. And yeah, thank you for listening. Why though? Just because, I don't know, I don't really get company often. It's nice to have a surrogate for my social life, especially when my work had me working nocturnally. There's never anyone to eat with you in those late hours. So this whole time you've been... Oh no, it's the L word. And for what that's it. I'm gonna go on a quest to become true yaoi. I mean, you don't really need to do that. Yaoi-chan linearly tweens upward. Gosh darn it, Yaoi-chan. You can't just leave like that. Where did the other patient go? He just left? Hey, I don't think a patient is allowed to just up and leave like that while in critical condition. I'll see if I can find him outside. Honestly, I feel like they are allowed to leave like that. Anyway. Can we... keys? Of course. Nobody clapped, but that's okay. Everyone clapped for like Lebanese and Yuritron, but like nobody stood up and clapped for like Moon and Yaoi-tron or whatever. It's okay. It's just how things are. Yuritron and Lebanese or lesbian were necessary for the revitalization of the cafe. For the turnaround of the cafe, so lots of respect to them. Let's check out some of the settings. I think that's pretty much it. Personally, I prefer the prior loading screen, and also I think some of the music is different. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna like check out the previous game really quick. Yeah, honestly, I think this is a little bit... It's fine. Yeah. Okay, so that was this game. And okay, you know what, well, okay, but I think the creator probably prefers this, or like there might be something about like the previous title screen that they just don't want to. They just like would prefer to use the new one instead, so that's okay. Maybe, I don't know. Um, oh, okay. So basically, this is that was Yaoitron. Or okay, what was this? Job hunting 9,000 feet. Yaoi slash Eurytron. And so from there, we're obviously the next thing would be Armageddon. And I couldn't think of anything. I can't think of anything. Like, this seems like the most logical kind of next point from a visual novel about, like, whatever this is, to Armageddon, which is, I believe, a pre-2000s Tron-like computer game. Yeah, Armageddon Advanced. So I'm gonna see if I can maybe get this to work next. I do have a Steam version called Retro Cycles that's supposed to like it's just like this, but I think a little bit updated. So yeah, I'll probably play this next and then provide a little bit of thoughts or commentary. But overall, do I have any impressions or like closing words to say about this game? Like I know there are other routes, and I might revisit it and play some of them at some point. Especially like the McDonald's choice. I think that could be very interesting. But for now, I'll just play this route and kind of leave off of that. And I think this route is probably the sweetest one, most likely. But we'll see. Yeah, in general, I'm sort of a fan of this Redux version. I think it's definitely a lot wordier. Like, this video has been very long, I think, but it's very absorbing and engaging. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I think all of my impressions were sort of given in the moment, and yeah, stay tuned for the next thing, maybe, or maybe not. I'm not sure.